Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we have more exciting Genshin Impact news to talk about today. We got a new character, we got the upcoming banners which are literally coming out in like a day and 4 hours. So I want to get this video out now to you guys to tell you my recommendations for the banners, talk about the new upcoming character, and everything else Genshin has released to us thus far. But without further ado, let's get in to today's video. Oh yes, and also quickly, before we do get into today's video, I do want to let you guys know that we're going to be doing a bunch of giveaways. We are coming really close to 85,000 subscribers, and when we hit it, we're going to be doing a ton of Welcome Moon giveaways. I love giving back to you guys since you support me so much, so it really would mean a lot to me if you could just go down, hit that little sub button, and let's get in to today's video. Alright, so over the past, I want to say maybe couple of hours, Genshin Impact has been dropping a lot of stuff over on their Twitter page, which they normally do before any update, but they're a little late this time. So let's see everything that's been released thus far. So the first thing I want to discuss is the brand new character, Chiori. We've seen this character already. If you guys remember, she was in the latest story quest in the 4.3 update, and she was also teased in the Genshin 4.3 live stream. So we've already known this character was coming for quite a while now. Now, something I found really interesting here is when they released her, the quote that they used for the tweet was a quote that said, "Really good with her hands. Whenever I try on a new outfit, she always does my hair up too. It's all part of the package," she says. "I just love it when she brushes my fur," which is actually a quote from Chiori. Now, we know that she designs clothes. I believe she's designed clothes for a bunch of the Inazuma characters and even some of the Fontaine ones, if I'm not mistaken. And now we know Chiori is one of those characters. Her title is the Thundering Seamstress, which sounds awesome. The boss of the Chiori boutique. Her vision is Geo, which to me is super interesting because we literally just got Navia. And to be honest, I can't see her being better than Navia. Navia has been such an insane character since she's came out. I wouldn't say that she's really saved Geo as an element, but on her own, I mean, she just does crazy amounts of damage. So it will be interesting to see if Chiori can compete with that. I'm not sure. From the looks of it, she will be a 5-star character because this is the only character they have released in the last little bit. So I think she's probably the only character coming out in the next update, but we'll see if Genshin Impact releases anything in the coming days. As for her weapon type, I think it's pretty obvious. She looks to be a sword character, and in fact, a dual-wielding sword character, which we haven't had, I think, since Tartaglia, I think was our last dual-wielding character, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm really excited to see if she can maybe dual-wield swords in a certain mode. It's going to be really exciting to see. Now, next up here, Genshin Impact also decided to release the banners that are coming out in literally a day. Now, we already knew what the banners would be. One is going to be Nahida. The other is going to be Xianyun. Now, Nahida was a little weird to me because it's a Lantern Rite update, but nonetheless, we got a Nahida banner. Do I recommend rolling on this? Yes. Nahida is insane. Nahida is by far the best Dendro character in the entire game, without a doubt. If you want a good pickup, Nahida is pretty guaranteed to help you no matter what you're doing. She pairs well with half of the units in the game: Sino, Fischl, Kachang, Yelan, Ayato, Nuvolette. I mean, is there a character she doesn't pair well with? I'm not sure. But if you want to do Dendro reactions, I strongly recommend picking up a Nahida. As for the other 5-star, Xianyun, I'm still a little 50-50 on her, to be honest. I mean, she looks kind of cool. I think the whole idea of her kit is so that your main characters are able to do plunging attacks now, which is pretty cool. That being said, I don't know how functionable it will be with a lot of characters, but it's going to be interesting to see. She's also, of course, a healer, which is going to help her a lot. But as for her overall usage compared to other 5-stars, I think it's really hard to determine right now. She is like a super unique character, which they've never done anything really like it before, because most characters in the game don't use plunging attacks besides Zhao. So it's going to be really interesting to see how she fits into team comps. I'm not 100% sure yet. I'll say right now, I'm kind of 50-50 on her. As for the other 3 4-stars, Noelle, I always get hate when I say this, but Noelle is bad. She just is. I'm sorry to all Noelle mains. She isn't good. Let's just say it how it is. The fact that you have to stay in her burst to get even a percentage of her healing, unless you're using her as a main DPS, there is no reason to pick up Noelle. As for the other 2 though, I do really like Gumming and I do like Faruzan. I think they're 2 really good units. Faruzan especially has just been huge for my account. I really needed a second Animo grouper DPS that wasn't Kazuha or Venti, because to be honest, I'm not a big fan of Venti. I hate that I have to use his burst in order to group units together. I'd rather just be able to do it with the E skill. And Faruzan does that pretty well. Not to mention, when you get her C6, she gets absolutely insane. She's definitely a character that I recommend picking up constellations for if you don't have them already. Her constellations are pretty game-changing. And to be honest, she doesn't function all that well at C1, but she can be super good at C6. Her talents are solid. You just throw her on a 4-piece Viridescent like you would any Animo character, and she crushes content. As for Gumming, he's another character that kind of revolves all around plunging attacks as well, which again is super interesting, but he looks to be one of those 4-star main DPSs, which I've never found are really good in Genshin Impact. Almost every single 4-star main DPS is able to be outclassed by just about any 5-star, so it's hard for me to really say if Gumming will be a good pickup or not. That being said, I do really like Faruzan, a little unsure on Gumming, and I don't like Noelle, so I'd say it's about a 50-50 win banner. But if you like the 5 stars, then I recommend going for it. As for the weapon banner, I don't like this one as much. The sacrificial weapons are very good. The bow, the sword, and the claymore are all very solid. The lithic spear, however, is not a very good weapon. It only works with leeway characters, and it's very situational. There's rarely any circumstances where you have to use the lithic spear. That being said though, 4 out of 5 being good weapons, I'd say that's pretty good. As for the 2 5-stars, they're very character unique. What I mean by that is 1,000 Floating Dreams will only ever really be good on Navia. And actually, that's not entirely true. It can be good for Baiju and a couple other characters, but it's definitely best on Navia. And then as for Crane's Echoing Call, it's really only good on Xianyun. Basically, all it does is increase plunging damage, and there's no other Catalyst character in the game that does plunge attacks, really. So this will only ever be good if you're using it on Xianyun. So if you are picking her up and you do want to make her better, you can pull for this. However, I'd say overall, the weapon banner isn't one of those ones that is a must roll or that I highly recommend rolling on, as the main 5 stars are really only good on 1 or 2 characters. Anyways, I think that's about everything we have to cover today. That was our Genshin news segment. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm going to see you all in the next one, but for today, that's all for me. I'll see you guys later. Peace.